Mr. President of the Basque Country, Excellency Mr. President of Biscay, friends of architecture, and friends of Sverre Fehn. I'm Bill Lacey, Executive Director of the Pritzker Architecture Prize, and in my spare time, President of Purchase College. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this evening's program in Bilbao, one of the most exciting cities in Europe. We are here to celebrate the career and life's work of Sverre Fehn and his elevation to membership in a very small and elite group, the winners of the Pritzker Architecture Prize. Often it seems in today's culture that we are media-driven, that architects are more interested in building careers than in building great buildings, large and small. Pritzker Architecture Prize. Fehn congratulated him and said, "How great an honor it was." Sterling replied, "Don't worry, one day you will win it also." Today is that day. And now it's my honor to introduce His Excellency, President of the Basque Country, Mr. Antonio Ardanza Garro.
Jaun Andreak, arratsalde on dizuela guztioi eta ongi etorri denoi Euskal Herrira, ongi etorri Bilbora eta ongi etorri laster bere baitan Guggenheim Museoa hartuko duen eraikuntza honetara. Arkitekturako Pritzker sari famatua emateko zuen erakundeak egoitza hau aukeratzea ohoregarri eta pozgarria da guretzat. Zuetariko askorentzat herrialde hau bizitatzen duzuen lehen aldia izango da. Utzidazue hala bada, gure aurkezpena egiten hitz gutxitan eta azalik bada ere. Bi ezaugarri nagusik egin dute ezagun munduan zehar gure herri hau, Euskal Herria alegia, bere antzinatasunak eta bere nortasunari dion atxikimenduak. Egia da, Euskaldunak antzinako herria garela. Agian bere nortasunari eutzi dion Europako herrerik zaharrena izango gara. Jatorrizko gure hizkuntza bizirik mantendu dugu eta bizirik gorde ditugu gure antzinako ohitura eta erakundeak. Gure nortasunaren kontzientzia sakona daukagu eta horregatik ezagutzen gaituzte. Kontzientzia horretaz gainera badugu harrotasun pixka bat eta batzutan autokonplazentzia apur bat ere bai. Baina guzti hori horrela izanik, etzazue pentsa gure nortasunaren kontzientzia, gure harrotasuna eta gure autokonplazentzia berez arrazoi nahikoa direnik gure herriaren iraupena historian zehar ulertu eta azaltzeko. Izan ere, denporaren joan etorriak argi eta garbi erakutsi digu, historiak indarra izan duela gurea baino indartsuagoak ziren kontzientziak itzaltzeko, harrotasun gogorragoak menperatzeko eta autokonplazentziak lotsagarri usteko. Eta historiaren joan etorri horrek ahaztuta eta baztertuta utzi ditu hainbat eta hainbat herriren nortasuna. Sarri askotan, historia horren aztarnarik ere utzi gabe ia. La razón de nuestra perseverancia histórica hay que encontrarla más bien en otros dos rasgos que son todavía más definitorios de nuestro modo de ser que nuestra antigüedad y que el apego a nuestra identidad. Me refiero a nuestra capacidad de renovación y a nuestro sentido de la universalidad. Sin la primera, sin la capacidad de renovación, nuestra antigüedad sería hoy solo vejez. Y sin el segundo, sin nuestro sentido de la universalidad, el apego a nuestra identidad habría degenerado ya en aislamiento. No es, sin embargo, ni un pueblo viejo, ni un pueblo aislado, lo que ustedes, estoy seguro, han encontrado hoy en su visita a este país. Todo lo contrario. Y a ustedes no les habrá hecho falta, además, conocer nuestra historia para descubrirla. A ustedes les habrá bastado abrir los ojos ante este espléndido edificio y recabar noticia de lo que muy pronto lo llenará, para cerciorarse de que se encuentran en un pueblo joven que ha decidido renovar su milenaria antigüedad con la más rabiosa modernidad, y en un pueblo abierto que no ha tenido miedo en exponer al mundo su arraigada antigüedad e identidad para enriquecerla de universalidad. Lo que ustedes contemplan hoy en este edificio y lo que muy pronto podrán admirar en este museo no representan, por lo demás, ni una excepción en nuestra milenaria historia, ni un precipitado salto en el vacío para no perder el futuro. Reflejan, más bien, una constante de nuestro modo de ser y constituyen la expresión más genuina de lo que siempre hemos hecho para poder sobrevivir en el mundo idénticos a nosotros mismos. Por eso lo hemos conseguido hasta ahora y por eso estamos seguros de que lo conseguiremos también en el futuro. Así pues, en nombre de este joven pueblo milenario, sean ustedes, arquitectos de todo el mundo, acompañantes, amigos y amigas, bienvenidos.
Vision, determination, and tenacity of Thomas Krenz, the director of a cluster of worldwide Guggenheim museums, we would not be here tonight, nor would the building be here. Thank you on behalf of this audience, Tom, and the entire international arts community. Tom Krenz.
Ladies and gentlemen, my responsibility this evening is the briefest of anyone here. On behalf of the Guggenheim Foundation, its Board of Trustees, it's my great honor to welcome such a distinguished group to a Guggenheim Museum. There indeed is a complex story here. This is not the time to tell it. This evening is for the new Nobel laureate, Sverre Fehn. Your work is inspirational. You've joined the ranks. You've been a great architect, but you joined the ranks of a very, very select and distinguished group. I'd like to thank the Pritzkers for, in fact, recognizing architecture, presenting it to the world as one of the great arts. And it's our pleasure indeed to be able to be allowed to participate in this event. So to you, Mr. Fehn, and to Jay Pritzker and his family, welcome to Bilbao. I'm Basque, and I hope you come back in October.
If you picture the Pritzker Prize jurors and laureates as a flock of sheep, which is hard to do, I am now about to introduce the chief shepherd, J. Carter Brown. J. Carter Brown is was director of the National Gallery of Art during its glory days of this half of the century, and guardian at the same time of the public building domain of our great capital city, Washington, D.C. He also found time and the dedication to raise the Pritzker Architecture Prize to its present position of prominence by serving as its chairman for 18 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. J. Carter Brown.
Well, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, thanks, Bill. Bill Lacey, as you know, and the man who starts can't introduce himself, but he is the executive director of the Pritzker Prize and has been so helpful to our jury. I think rather than leading a flock, it is more like herding cats. But I have a wonderful jury, and the Pritzker Prize is very fortunate to have such a distinguished and international group, and I would like simply to introduce them to you here tonight. Only one of our number could not be here tonight, but he was here yesterday. Gianni Agnelli, chairman of Fiat, is from Italy. Many people think he is Italy, and he had to go back. But we do have from Tokyo, Toshio Nakamura. Toshio, do you want to stand? There he is. The chairman of the Graduate School of Design at Harvard, who started life in Argentina of Italian ancestry, Jorge Silvetti. Critic of our time, Ada Louise. Charles Correa of Bombay, India, is in his own right a winner of the International Union of Architects Gold Medal and a great intellectual and connoisseur. All that we have been able to accomplish on this jury is due to the enlightenment of them, of the Hyatt Foundation, of Jay's son Tom, and Alan Turner and their trustees, and we are very, very grateful. And now I turn this podium over to Jay Pritzker himself.
Excellency, Mr. President of Biscay, ladies and gentlemen. This is a ceremony to bestow the 20th Pritzker Architecture Prize upon Sverre Fehn of Norway, a country that can already lay claim to 3 Nobel Prizes. We attempt to pay homage to a number of other people and places. By choosing a site in Spain this year, we chose to honor last year's laureate, Rafael Moneo. Rafael was with us last night and this morning. His mother just passed away, so he had to leave. By choosing this particular building in Spain, we honor another laureate, Frank Gehry. It always gives us great pleasure to see laureates continue to build outstanding works. And certainly this Guggenheim Bilbao is that and more. And we thank the Guggenheim Foundation for inviting us.
I look like a waiter. Okay. No, I'm standing here tonight feeling honored and grateful to receive the most important prize in our society of architecture. All my gratitude to Mr. and Mrs. Pritzker and the members of the Hyatt Foundation.
It's a characteristic that the Pritzker Prize is an American reward. It is an example of a society which has the generosity to let architectural freedom be born. And this museum by Frank Gehry expresses the instant of freedom, having preserved the genius idea of the sketches. And by this process, it has liberated itself from history. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. I want to express my gratitude to all of you. Have you some water here? I would very much like to have some water. To collaborators, clients, friends and family who are present here in Bilbao to share with me this important event. And I thank especially Henrik Hille, who has been worked out with me my latest project. Henrik, where are you? Yes. Okay. I am very pleased for the place chosen for this celebration, Spain, where the big constructions hide in the shadow of the bullfight. My wife often tells me that I must have a bit Spanish in my early life, so I feel at home. I will now present some fragments from my life as an architect. Within himself, every man is an architect. His first step towards architecture is his walk through nature. He cut the path like writing on the surface of the earth. The crushing of grass and brushwood is an interference with nature, a simple definition of man's culture. His path is a sign to follow, and through this initial movement, he requires the movements of others. This is the most elementary form of a composition. The globe is divided into longitude and latitude degrees. Oh, thank you. The globe is divided in longitude and latitude degrees. Each crossing point has a certain climate, a certain plants and winds. As an architect, you have to try to understand the difference of life in each point. Independent of these geographical points, the human thoughts float like clouds over the surface of earth. And architecture is brought to life in the duel between nature and the irrational. My nearly 50 years long journey into the world of architecture, I started by gaining a composition for a museum at Lillehammer together with Geir Grung, just after having finished the architectural studies in Oslo. I took an advice from Jørn Utzon of going to Morocco to study so-called primitive architecture. I would like to read some words I put down during this winter in Africa, traveling south today to Morocco to study primitive mural architecture. It's not a journey or exploration to discover things. It's, on the contrary, you recognize. Frank Lloyd Wright's houses in Taliesin must seem like these in despair and with the same roughness in the structure of the material. And Mies van der Rohe's walls with the same character of infinity. And here you find Le Corbusier's poem about the terrace and the roof in a modern town plan. This discovery became for me a tool to penetrate more deeply into understanding of modern architecture. The architecture works within a timeless space. Its signature is anonymous. In the year 1953, I got a French scholarship which gave me possibility to work without salary in the office of Jean Prouvé in Paris. I visit frequently the office of Le Corbusier in Rue Sèvres 36. At this time I also experienced the atmosphere of the Siam in its last period. And I remember Le Corbusier raising his left hand to say goodbye to the organization and all of us in the corridor of the old UNESCO building. My most important journey was perhaps into the past, in the confrontation with the Middle Age, when I built a museum among ruins of the Bishop Fortress at Hamar. I recognize, when working out this project, that the only manifestation of the present you can make that only by a manifestation of the present you can make the past speak. If you try to run after it, you will never reach it. But the great museum is the globe itself. In the surface of the earth, the lost objects are preserved. The sea and the sand are the great masters of conservation and make the journey into eternity so slow that we still find in these patterns the key to the birth of our culture. I miss actually John Haydock here today. His writing and drawings have meant a lot to me. I would like to end with some words I wrote in a book about the construction security built in Oslo. I said, John Haydock has created a world where the boundaries are erased. The architecture floats in the universe, extending from the cut of the surgeon's scalpel into the inner organ of a human body. And this, and his own cut through the veil of invisibility into the vast landscape where the site is cleared for the cemetery of the ashes of thought. Thank you.